You can't open it.
They just put lotion on my hand, so I can't open it.
Oh, give me it. Are you making a muddy waters or just drinking it?
No, I'm just drinking.
I have lotion on my hand too. NP. And then right on top of it, I'm going to use the Fenty Beauty. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel and Happy New Year if you are seeing this after December 31st, but I wanted to get this video up for you guys so that you could practice along before your big night out. I wanted to play a little bit on a Spotlight Halo Eye. I was a little worried about how it would turn out, but I think we nailed it. And yeah, I hope you guys are excited for 2018 as much as I am. I had a really great year this year, but I'm very excited to move forward with my life and have a couple of new changes. Yeah, leave in the comments below if you're excited about 2018 and also if you like this look, and let me know if you're going to recreate it for your big night. If you want to figure out how to get this Spotlight Halo Eye, then keep on watching. So I've already prepped my face with the Hydrating Milky Serum from Pixi and also the H2O Skin Drink Gel Moisturizer and also my Olay Regenerist Eye Cream for puffiness and fine lines. And yeah, so I'm ready to go. I already primed my eyes as well. Got my coffee ready. For this look, unfortunately, I'm going to be going into a bunch of different palettes, but it's not anything that you guys haven't seen me use before. I'm going to start off actually with my Subculture palette, and I'm going to use the shade Dawn, which is this color right here. And I'm taking that on a Morphe M330 brush. My goal for this look is a halo eye, but we're going to do something a little bit more special. It's called a spotlight eye, and Nikki Tutorials did this too, and I think the artist, she did this on Instagram, and she's been the inspiration for this look for everybody, so I'm just going to take inspiration from her. And for this color, I'm just going to spread it out all over the upper crease area. Not really creating a halo effect just yet, but starting to get a transition going for all the other colors afterwards. Okay, so now that that shadow is blended out and we have our first transition down, I'm going into the Artist Pro palette. This is well loved, well used, and I'm going to kind of go in more with the cooler tone shadows now to create like a gray, almost black effect. I don't want to do a warm crease when I'm doing like kind of like a black halo eye. I want everything to kind of match the same color theory. This is going to make your eyes a little bit more cool toned, and maybe you're not into that. That is why I started out with more of a warmer transition, just so we have that bit of definition and depth. But I wanted to kind of go a little bit different of a route and do something that was more cool toned. I'm picking up this Morphe M441 and the shade Indie, which is all the way at the bottom right here, and I'm just going to start building up that crease. If you want to stick to the Subculture palette, if you do have it, the shade Mercury in this palette is also more of a gray. I try to go with something a little bit more lighter, and then maybe I'm going to go in with it. But there are a lot of gray tone shadows in the Tarte palette as well if you'd rather pick this one up. And you could start off with a different transition color if you want to. And with this brush, it's a little bit more small. I'm not only just blending out the crease, but I'm also kind of bringing this into the inner corner and outer corner of my eye to start building up that halo look. Okay, so now that we have that second color down, I'm then going to go back into the Subculture palette and then once again take the shade Mercury, and then I'm going to start building up the crease, but very lightly. This color can get very out of hand and can kind of muddy things up. So I'm going in with a very light hand, and this is my Morphe E22 brush. It's from the Elite collection, and it's very small and tapered and fluffy. I think it's dual fiber as well, so it's really going to softly blend out colors as opposed to harshly place them on. So I'm kind of focusing this on the outer edge and then softly bringing it into the crease as opposed to going in the crease first, because then I'm depositing more of the pigment on the outer corner to start off that halo eye look, and then just diffusing it so that when I go into the inner corner, it's not as harsh. and we have a nice blend going. Try to hold your brush like mostly towards the end, kind of more so in the middle as opposed to like all the way up here, so that you have the ability to blend things out. It's all about light pressure, and the best way to do that is to kind of hold your hand a little bit further down on the brush handle. So now that there is nothing left on the brush, I'm going to start blending this up into the transition colors, just so this side of my eye doesn't look too patchy. Now I have a lot of shadow falling out over here. I just wipe it away anyway, so don't worry about that if that happens. You could just wipe it away, and your look's gonna be very blended, because my blending really ends like right around here. I just bring everything out just so that I could play with my eye shape more. I'm going to go in with my Morphe M513, and then I'm going to go in with the shade Profesh in the Tarte palette. It's right up here. And yeah, I'm just going to do what I did with Mercury, more so concentrating this on the inside, on the inner corner and outer corner, and not so much the crease, because now we are building up to get that darkness and to get ready for the black color. And then softly winging it out with the rest of the shadows. Okay, so the transition colors are pretty much done. I just tested it out. I tested out this color black, and it's called Punk. And then I also tested Abyss from the Jaclyn Hill palette. I saw that Abyss was a little bit more dark and more buttery in consistency, so I think I'm just going to stick with Abyss for this look, just because I really want that richness. The look wouldn't be the same if I didn't have that really dark depth to it, so I'm going to go in with Abyss from that palette, but you're more than welcome to go with Punk from the Tarteist palette. There's nothing saying that you can't. I just want that richness, but if you're a little bit more afraid of a black color and you're not really sure how to blend it that well, then you could definitely use something that's a little bit less pigmented. I'm going to grab this Morphe M433 and then Abyss, and this is a flat shader brush that has like a thick tip so that you can blend it out, and I'm just going to place this onto the inner and outer corner and then softly blend it with circular windshield wiper motions. So I'm just taking a clean tissue and taking my brush and wiping off any of the excess because I didn't use it all, and before I blend this out I want to make sure that there are no chances of this getting muddy and looking like a raccoon eye, so I'm just wiping off the extra shadow, and now I'm going to blend this out. And just taking the last blending brush that I used, the M513 from Morphe, and it has no extra shadow on it, and I'm just softly blending that black in with the last color. And then just taking Abyss on that brush one more time and just darkening up the inner and outer corner. We lost some of that with the blending. I'm taking that same tissue and just getting rid of that fallout. And this is what I have so far. Nice blended black smoky eye. And so now the intimidating part, which is creating that spotlight eye. This might not go completely as planned, but I'm going to try my best here. This is my first time doing this. So same thing as my holiday video that I just put up. I'm taking my Morphe M224 brush, this flat concealer brush, and then the eye primer that I use, the HT Lifting Concealer from e.l.f. And I'm going to just put that on my brush and start creating the spotlight. I'm gonna zoom you guys in for this because this might be very detailed. Okay, so kind of just gonna place this in the middle first, just to get some of the excess off the brush. And since there is a lot of concealer on my brush, I'm going to go over to this side now, just to get some of the excess off. And then going back, blending it out. And then I'm getting up to the top, right above my crease, and I'm just going back and forth, creating kind of a half circle blending, and now just straightening it out. And then I have that. And yeah, I'm just gonna go into this eye and do the same thing. So now I'm just gonna take my finger and blend out the edges. I might go in back with the black once I'm done with the center color. Just for now, we're gonna blend this out. Okay, so now to get a little bit more intricate, now we are doing the lid color. That is going to be kind of a mixture of a bunch of different shimmer shades. The first color that I want to do, which is going to go all the way at the top, is going to be the lightest color, and I am picking Beam from the Jaclyn Hill palette. And I'm taking this C163 oval fluff slash crease brush that I use in pretty much every video, and I'm just going to place that right on top where the crease meets the top of my eye. So I'm just patting it into that space, and then once I have the pigment that I want, I then reinforce that half circle that we created. So once again, just taking this at the top, and I'm not going down because we're doing different colors down there. Now, this is where things are going to get a little crazy. This might work, this might not. I'm going to kind of combine a bunch of shimmer shadows from the Jaclyn Hill palette and just place them all together on the center of the lid. Taking this e.l.f. professional eyeshadow brush, and then the colors Faint, Obsessed, a little bit of Pool Party. So now I have all of these shades combined on my brush, and we're just gonna go in. I'm gonna zoom you guys in just so you could see this pigment. There's reflects of blue, silver, and pink in here, kind of creating a little bit of a muted holographic effect. Okay, so now that that is all done, I'm going to go back in and place the black color back down and just blend everything together. Then for my brow bone color, I will be taking Enlight from the Jaclyn Hill palette and just placing that at the base of the brow bone. I really just want some definition to the brow. I'm not really looking to do anything too crazy because the rest of the eye look is pretty dramatic. Okay, so the eyes are complete. I'm just going to go in off camera with my Ulta Beauty eyeliner. I'm going to tightline with this on just the upper lash area, and then I'm going to go in with my Voluminous Carbon Black mascara, and then I'm going to use the lashes Everlasting. This is a Sephora and House of Lashes collab. I've used this in a few videos. Be right back to do the face. Okay, lashes are on. I think that these are very wispy and flirty enough that they don't cover up the eye, but they also add a little bit nice drama to the eye look. So yeah, we're just gonna go in with our primers using the same NYX Hydra Touch that I used in my last. Ending this with the NYX Photo Loving Primer. I figured since it's New Year's Eve, it's best to have something that is good for pictures and photography since you will probably be taking a lot of pictures. So now I'm taking the L'Oreal True Match Concealer for the shades W1, 2, and 3, and like my last video, I'm just going to place this right under my eye and also around my nose. And I didn't mention this last time, but this is the Crown C517 brush, and I just use that to blend out concealer both underneath my eye and on top of my eye for my primer. So for foundation, I'm going to take something that is long wearing and is going to last all night and actually gets better with time in my opinion. This is the NARS All Day Luminous Weightless Foundation, and it's the shade CEYLAN Light 6. This is by no means a new foundation. It's been around for a while, but I just thought I'd give a shout out to it because I've really enjoyed using it, and NARS has a lot of my undertones, so I just thought it was a great foundation to pick up. And it's like slightly darker than my skin, but it's not as dark as a L'Oreal True Match that I used in my last video, so I thought I would give this one a go in a video and just show you guys how lovely this foundation is. What's also great about this foundation is that there's no SPF in it, so it's not going to cause flashback in photography. So then for concealer, nothing new. This is the Instant Age Rewind from Maybelline in the shade Light, same one I used in my last video. And I'm just going to put that on the same areas that I always do, underneath my eye and in my T-zone. And then just taking it a little bit underneath here. And since my skin has been a little bit congested lately, I'm not going to do any cream contour. I will advise that cream contour does actually help your makeup to stay on longer. So if that's something that you're interested in and you know you're going to be out for a very long time, I would recommend doing cream contour if your skin allows for it, just so that your makeup can last a little bit longer. If you would like to see my new contouring products, you could watch my last video because I do a full face routine there, and I show you guys the new product that I've been using lately for my cream contour. And once again, I left my under eyes for last because I wanted the concealer to dry up a little bit so that it wouldn't move around as much when I started blending, and therefore I would have the most coverage underneath my eye. And especially with all the dark tones on the lid that are all cool toned, I want to make sure that I still look fresh and not like a raccoon. Just taking my C517 brush again, and then just going in right up to this inner corner because my Beauty Blender isn't really fitting in there, and I want to make sure that everything is blended out in this inner corners. So now with my Crown C531 brush and my RCMA No Color powder, I'm just going to set the T-zone. And I'm kind of pushing this powder into my pores just so that everything is filled in and that I have a nice smooth finish on the center of my face. I'm also taking the translucent powder right under my neck because that's how far I blended out my foundation, and I just want to make sure that when I go like this, I don't have foundation on my hands. Also, it's just really uncomfortable to have a sticky neck. I don't know why that is, but it's just like the worst. I hate it. I feel so self-conscious. So before I go in with my contour and blush products, I'm going to spray my face with the Smashbox Photo Finish Primer Water and just make sure all the makeup is set. I'm going to take my e.l.f. Angled Blush Brush and my Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer, and I'm just going to bronze up the face a little bit. Just doing nice sweeping motions upward to really hug the cheekbone and accentuate it. And then just doing a little bit on my forehead, not too much. Right on the jawline, just to add a little bit of dimension, not necessarily contouring it away. So then I'm just going to take my Hoola Benefit bronzer brush and then the shade Fawn from the Anastasia contour kit, and I'm just going to chisel out my face. Just focusing right next to the ear, blending it, and then moving it upwards like I did with my bronzer. And then taking it like a little bit down my nose. Then for blush, I'm going to take my Target Up and Up brush and then the shade Passion from Smashbox. It is a nice red tone pink. It's really going to warm up the face with all of these cool tones that we have going on. Get right on the apple of my cheek and then softly blending it out into my bronzer and contour. For my waterline, I'm going to take the Essence Kajal pencil in white, and I'm going to place that on my inner waterline just to open up the eye because we have a lot of things that are closing it, like the black tones. So I want to make sure my eyes are nice, wide, and awake. And then I think I'm going to do my under eye makeup off camera just because it's not really going to be too intricate and I feel like I always take so long doing it. But I am going to use the black and also a couple of the grays. I'm not going to use Dawn from the Subculture palette. So whatever gray tone shadows that you used for this look to copy it, then just go ahead and use those, and just a nice deep dark black shade as your first color. I'll do that and also my brows off camera, and then I will see you guys for the highlight and for the lips. Okay, the eyes are all done. I just used the shade Abyss and also Profesh from the Tardis palette, and on the inner corner I have the shade Beam from the Jacqueline palette. For my eyebrows, I just used, again, my Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Definer in Ebony. I'm just going to apply some mascara to the lower lashes. This is not waterproof mascara, but if that's something that you think you're going to need, whether you're going to get emotional or you think you're going to have a lot of champagne thrown at you, that might be a good option to have, is to use a waterproof mascara. And I'm just going to spray my face one more time with my Smashbox Photo Finish Primer, and we're going to go on to the highlight. So my Morphe M510 is a little bit of a mess right now, but it's still going to work fine. I'm going to take my Anastasia Sugar Glow Kit and I'm going to take Starburst. I'm using Starburst instead of Marshmallow because I feel like Starburst has more of a frosty undertone and Marshmallow is a little bit more golden. So this is really going to complement the silvers and pinks that we have on the lid. Just placing that on my nose a little bit, on the Cupid's bow, and then placing a touch right above the brow. Now for lips, I'm using 3 products. I'm using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Liquid Lipstick in Pure Hollywood, and then I'm going to go in with this Maybelline Color Reach lipstick in Blushing Beige, and then right on top of it, I'm going to use the Fenty Beauty Gloss Bomb in Fenty Glow. For the liquid lip, I'm going to place this on the outside of my lips just to give more of an ombre effect. So just on the outer corners. And having this liquid lipstick as a base is really going to make sure that your lips stay on a little bit longer. And if you're going to be kissing anybody, then you still have this underneath all of your lipstick and lip gloss. So now for the lipstick, I'm going to place this on the center. And this is a really, really nude pink that I really can't wear on its own, so it's good to layer on top of things. Just blending that out with my finger. And then just to give a nice glossy sheen, then taking the lip gloss and then kind of taking off the excess on the edge and just putting that all over. Alright, and that is the finished look. I hope you guys like this kind of new take on a eye look that I haven't really done before. It was really exciting to try it out, and I'm glad you guys got to see it work out, and it didn't turn into a crazy mess. And I hope you guys are a little bit less afraid to do a nice black smoky eye. Yeah, so leave in the comments what you want for 2018, what your goals are, what your aspirations are, what you think you're going to accomplish, and what you're excited about. It doesn't have to be too serious. It could also be like TV shows, movies, anything like that. I just want to interact with you guys a little bit more. It's been an amazing year on YouTube. I've had a couple of ups and downs as far as filming goes, but I think that I'm just getting stronger and becoming more of a stronger videographer, and it's really exciting to keep progressing as a YouTube person. And even though I have a very small following, it's not something that I would change. I think you guys are amazing, and I really appreciate every time you sit down and watch my videos, or how you tune in and look for notifications from me and interact with me in the comments. I think that it's really lovely, and I appreciate every single one of you for looking at my videos. Some do more well than others.